Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of these designs. They actually all say the exact same thing, which is I forgot before I remembered. And these designs all kind of use the same skeletons for each of the words, but then I arrange them in different ways based on the layout that I wanted to go for. So this first one here is flowy to lean into a design that's going to incorporate like vines and flowers and stuff. And I want to talk a bit more about this one than the others for incorporating those flowers and stuff. The biggest thing not to do is have those flowers attached to any of our letter stems. It's safe to attach onto sentence circles or onto any of these lines here. Basically, let me grab stuff that is okay to have stuff end on, and then I'm going to turn it green. Path, strokes path. Why is it grumpy? Path, oh, that's because it's in different groups. On group. Yippee. Okay. So all this stuff in green is okay to have your flowers and stuff end on it and grow from it and overlap and interrupt it. All this green stuff. So you can have like a flower here, another vine sprouting, whatever you want. Yeah, this green is okay to overlap and interrupt because it's not part of our letter stems, it's just line modifiers and sentence circles. So let's go ahead and actually read this design. Starting at the bottom, our first word just has one little letter on it, and that little letter is a vowel, and that little letter has a line going inwards towards the center of our word circle, and that's the word I. We see the I repeated here in this design, and the I repeated here in this design. So even though this is going a different direction than this, it's still going towards the middle of our word. So that's the I at the beginning of each of these three designs. And then we have forgot. We have this deep divot with 1, 2, 3 lines, done very similarly to this one with 1, 2, 3 lines. And then the O is attached to it like a bead on a string. So this is the O, so F-O, F-O, and in this one, we have an F with 1, 2, 3 lines bubbling up like this, and then the O's here. And then the R has 1, 2, 3 dots, shallow divot, 3 dots, shallow divot, 3 dots, shallow divot, so that's the R. And then this G is a deep divot with 1 line, deep divot with 1 line, and then this G is a deep divot with this line here. The O is attached on this one, attached on this one, and attached on that one. And then a T is a shallow divot with no modifiers. So here's an itsy bitsy T all by itself. This T I adjusted to line up with the sentence circle going around the word I. And then this one is a really wide shallow divot that goes around the word remembered. So that's 3 different ways to draw the T. So that's forgot, forgot, forgot. Then our next word is before, and it starts with a deep divot with nothing on it. No lines, no modifiers. So that's the B. Here's the B here, and then here's the B here, and then E is on the line of the word circle. So unlike the O's that are on the line of the letter stem, the E's are on the line of the word circle, the O's are on the line of the letter stem. If they're not attached, an O is inside our word circle. So here's an O that is not on a letter stem. So this, if it were an E, would be in here, centered, and then an A would be out here. So A, E, O position, because O's are internal, A's are external, E's are centered. Now let me make the green again. Alright. So, yeah, we talked about the the B and then the E. Here's the B and then the E there, and then here's the B and then the E there. This F is a deep divot with 1, 2, 3 lines. This F is the same kind of shape, 1, 2, 3 lines on that F, except instead of bubbling in, it bubbles out for these 2 lines. And then this F has 1, 2, 3 lines on it there. Here's the O, O, O. R has 3 dots, R has 3 dots, R has 3 dots, E, E, E. These are all very similar, except for the lines on the F. That's literally the only thing I changed on these 3 designs is the F lines. Okay, and then we have another I, little guy, line going inwards, little guy, line going inwards, little guy, line going inwards. And then remembered is done super, super similarly between all 3. In fact, this one is exactly the same as this one. The only difference here is that I changed the line weights on these to make them match the line weights on these. So anyway, exactly the same except for the thickness of these lines, which doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and just zoom in and read this one. Shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 dots is the R. E on the line of the word circle. And this one's kind of tricky because this is a double letter because it's a double line with 1, 2, 3 modifiers on it. So that would be a double M. So let me M, M. And then, actually I need to be these. M, M, that's a comma. And then here's an E. Letter stacking is something I don't have on my mini version of the guide, but is a true thing that happens in the script. And anyway, so we know that this is a double M because they're the same letter because it's the same thickness with 1, 2, 3 lines and circles inside the word circle. And then the E is a vowel, and vowels are typically read after the consonants. The only time they're not read after the consonants is when they have a slash. So this one slash here moves the E up one letter in the stack. So it just bumps up once and is now in between this M. Come on, let go. Why is it not letting me grab? Probably because of weird layering stuff. Anyway, so this is the M-E-M because we have the double M with the E bouncing once to get in front of the M. And here's the B, deep divot, no modifiers, E on the line just like that one, and then R with 3 dots, E, and then D. So even though this E is not in the exact center of the R, it's still after the R because it doesn't have a slash. So R-E, M-E-M stack, B-E-R-E-D, remembered. So, yeah. And that's done exactly the same for the other ones here, just copy-pasted. 3 dots, E, M, 3 lines, E, B, E, R, E, D, remembered. R, E, M, E, M, stack, B, E, R, E, D, remembered. So, yeah, those are those designs. I hope you like them, and I hope one of them works out for you and one works out for your friend. So, yeah. Thanks. Bye.